Welcome to the Wakem universe, where fan theories come to life, hidden details get uncovered, and your favorite worlds get even more exciting. Let's dive in. The Marvel Multiverse didn't start with Loki, Doctor Strange, or even Avengers. Endgame. The truth is, the idea of infinite timelines, alternate realities, and cosmic forces controlling everything has been baked into Marvel Comics for decades, and it's way messier than what the MCU has shown so far. This theory explores how Marvel's comic multiverse actually works, who made it, who's tried to control it, and what that might mean for the future of the MCU. Let's start at the beginning, literally. In the comics, the multiverse wasn't just a natural consequence of time travel or magic. It was created. At the origin of everything was a being called the First Firmament, the very first sentient universe. This entity gave birth to the Celestials, those giant godlike beings we've seen briefly in Eternals. But the Celestials rebelled, and their civil war shattered the First Firmament. From its remains, the multiverse was born, countless parallel universes, each with its own timeline, heroes, and histories. Now, that's already more complex than anything we've seen in the movies, but it gets deeper, because the multiverse isn't static, it's constantly dying and being reborn. In fact, Marvel has this concept called cosmic incarnations, essentially versions of the multiverse that go through complete cycles of death and rebirth. Think of it like versions of Windows getting wiped and rebooted. The current incarnation of the Marvel Multiverse, the one we're familiar with, is actually the 8th version, and the last one ended in an event called the Secret Wars. In the 2015 Secret Wars comic event, the multiverse collapsed. All timelines smashed together, causing massive incursions, the exact term the MCU is now using. Dr. Doom, wielding godlike power, stitched pieces of different universes together into a patchwork world called Battleworld. And at the center of it all was a single hope: to reboot the multiverse into something new. Eventually, Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, rebuilt the multiverse. That's right, he recreated it. That puts the Fantastic Four right at the center of the multiverse saga, even more than the Avengers or the X-Men. But Reed isn't the only one playing Cosmic Architect. Let's talk about the Beyonders, beings from outside the multiverse itself. They're higher dimensional entities who once decided to wipe out all of reality as an experiment. They're the ones who caused the collapse that led to Secret Wars. Then you've got the Living Tribunal, a cosmic judge who oversees balance across all realities, eternity and infinity, who represent time and space themselves, and even the one above all, Marvel's supreme god figure. These characters hint that the multiverse isn't just chaotic, it's governed, at least partially, by forces we can barely understand. And now let's bring it back to the MCU. The rules we've been shown, branching timelines, incursions, variants, are simplified versions of what the comics explore. But Marvel Studios is slowly opening the door to those bigger ideas. We already met He Who Remains, a Kang variant who kept the timelines in check. But in the comics, Kang is a direct descendant of Reed Richards, and multiple versions of Kang exist across time. Some are conquerors, others are heroes. Eventually, the Council of Kangs tries to police the multiverse themselves, and they fail. Spectacularly, this collapse of multiversal order is what paves the way for events like Secret Wars. And guess who's at the center of both the comic and MCU multiverse chaos? Dr. Doom. In the comics, Doom steals the power of the Beyonders and becomes God Emperor Doom, shaping reality to his will. The theory here is that while the MCU originally built Kang up as the next Thanos-level villain, recent changes behind the scenes suggest they may pivot, and Dr. Doom could emerge as the real threat. We've also got clues scattered across Phase 4 and 5. Magical corruption, WandaVision, time fractures, Loki, cosmic realms, Eternals, the Marvels, and incursion warnings from Multiverse of Madness. All signs point to the idea that we're heading toward a full-scale collapse of the MCU's multiverse, just like in the comics. And here's the kicker. In Marvel canon, every reboot or collapse leaves traces behind. Characters sometimes remember previous realities, universes overlap, dead heroes return. It's messy, but it also gives Marvel a perfect narrative tool to bring back characters, recast roles, or rewrite history, all while staying true to the comics. So what's the endgame? If the MCU follows comic history, the multiverse is going to break. Again. And in that chaos, someone, possibly Reed Richards, or even Doctor Strange, will have to make the ultimate choice: preserve a broken multiverse or build a new one from scratch. Which means Secret Wars might not just be the end of the current phase, it could be the birth of an entirely new Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it's all rooted in decades of comic storytelling, full of gods, mad scientists, time travelers, and the idea that every universe, including ours, has a beginning and an end. Thanks for tuning in to the Wakem universe. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, peace.